Hello everyone, and welcome back to Blueprints. Today's day 22, which means that it's the date that was carved into the tree. I already know that date was used as the code for the lock, but I am curious if there's any more significance, so I think I'll be paying a visit to the orchard today. Um, which will waste some steps, I know, but I'm curious. Last episode, oh, interesting. So, the foundation is permanently in the center of the house now. I guess that's the only place you can draft it. That would make sense to me. Um, what doesn't make sense to me is where to use the basement key that I found last time. But hopefully that will become apparent soon. Let's do this. Wow, we got a laundry list of mid options here. We'll choose the hallway. What about over here? Den? Yes, we'll take the den. Then hopefully parlor room in this back corner would be my hope. Yes, okay. This is the ideal layout right now. We also got a coin purse. That's nice. I'll be taking that for sure. Let's see what these boxes say. The gems are in the only box with a false statement. Okay. Interesting. Gems are in the only box with a true statement, and the gems are in the only box with a false statement. So if this was the case, this would be telling the truth, which means this would be lying, which means the box would be in here. And then this one would be true, right? Let's just go through that again. The gems are in the only box with a false statement. Gems are in the only box with a true statement. If this one's true, then necessarily this must be false, which would make this true. Okay, so this is saying there's only one box with a true statement, which means this is false and this is false. Which is contradictory, right? So that cannot be the case. This cannot be true. Because the thing would be in its own box, which would make this false. No, which would make this true, but which would make this false. So, this has to be lying. This has to be false. The gems are in the only box with the false statement. One of the other boxes is true. It's referring to this. These are both true. This is false. The gems are in the false box. Okay. Nook. I like Nook here. Closet might have been a good play too. Honestly. Let's just do Nook. We'll do bedroom here. It gets me to a new tile, and it's doesn't waste steps to go through, so it's fine. Chapel. Let's do chapel, then let's backtrack a bit here. I've never drafted the nursery before, I just realized. That might be something that's worth doing. I'm curious about what is in the nursery for sure. Let's do it. I'm not really worried about getting to the end on this run. I'm more invested in exploring things I haven't before on this run. Which, sure, I need to play a little bit pragmatically to be able to do that, but, you know. We get a gem, and we get a book here. Is that the Red Prince? Yeah, the Red Prince. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. Interesting, the ruby crown is mentioned here. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. There's the wagon and the fire hydrant from the first grade coloring book. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. And do you know which book the prince always had, the one that made him happy whenever he was sad? The story he had read in the bed, and maybe you can guess what the clues we have said. The story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. As you, my reader, You might already assume this book is quite near you. In fact, it's in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book, the red book we just read. All right, I'm going to backtrack through this to see if there's any information, interesting information here. Clearly, this is talking about, I think, me. Or at the very least, one of Marion Marigold's sons. I'm looking at the drawings now. Yeah, I don't see anything interesting. Okay, let's go back. We've drafted the nursery now. We've been in it. We know what's in here. It's nothing too interesting. I mean, sure, we get the children's book, which is kind of an interesting piece of lore, I guess. But I don't think it's super relevant. I'm glad I grabbed that. I guess I got a gem from it, so I think it was worth it. Okay, let's draft this first, then we can decide whether we want to go over to the outside house. I'm just going to do storeroom here. I know it's a weird play, but I'm going to do it. Okay, now let's go outside. I didn't really explore this west path yet for the potential basement location. I feel like I remember there being a door over here somewhere. Let's see if it's the case. I mean, obviously there's this door. No, I think I was wrong. Let's do tool shed. Okay, shovel and a wrench. So whenever I did the thing last time, did I make a certain one more rare by accident? I think I feel like I might have done that in hindsight. Okay, I'm going to spend a couple steps to go down here because I'm curious. A curious man. That's the coal cart spot. Is there another door anywhere? I don't see one. There's the orchard over there. There's not one at the end of this tunnel. Feels like the spot there'd be a door for the basement. I don't think there is. Okay. I also didn't waste any steps doing that. Those torches are not ruby handled, so it's not a secret passage down there, I don't think. There could still be, but it's different. Okay, we only need one more of those things to light up because we know where the back left one is, but we didn't turn it on because it warned us against doing so. Maybe that will lead to the basement. I'm curious if we could use the basement key on that door over there, but I don't think we would have had the chance. Let's just continue exploring here. Pantry, it's a good spot for it. I could have grabbed the library, but I don't really care about that yet. We'll just do spare room. Billiard room, chapel. I'm going to do the chapel. Directionality of the chapel's nice. I still made more coins from it. I need to find a way to light those candles. That is my next big task. Kitchen. Let's do the kitchen, and let's see if we can get bacon and eggs. Also, is the water flowing? Yeah. I've turned on the water at the kitchen. That's actually big. Okay, let's see what's today's main course. Porterhouse steak. Plus 10 if you have a showroom in your house. Let's get bacon and eggs. I want to get the morning room. I feel like there's going to be something in there important. And then let's check off this spot. Closet. Good spot for a closet. Oh, tennis shoes. Nice. We'll do East Wing Hall here. Dining room is not bad. It's like a better version of East Wing Hall, but I prefer it to be farther north. Is the only thing. So I don't want to remove it from the draft pool yet. Okay. Courtyard, walk-in closet. And let's do the walk-in closet here. We also could get 15 steps if we do the guest bedroom, but I want to do the walk-in closet. Because I'm kind of interested in a lot of these items. Because I feel like I haven't even used some of them yet. Okay, that's 3. Where's the 4th item? Coupon book. Is that everything? I think it is. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the items that I got. Yeah, use a key. Morning room. Tomorrow you will start with 2 gems. And I get 2 gems today. That's actually a really good room. Salt shaker too. Okay, I'm gonna read that newspaper. 1 second. This is the thing that keeps showing up in the pictures on the walls. The Baron of Mount Holly names nephew provisional heir. In the blue hours of the Wednesday morning, the venerable Baron of Mount Holly, Herbert S. Sinclair, passed away at the ripe age of 73 after a prolonged struggle with a heart condition that had been kept from the public eye until his final days. Esteemed as a pillar of society and renowned for his penchant for crafting puzzles, he was a source of endless fascination to our readers over the years, not least through his popular column, Baron Bafflers, which he penned for over a decade. The particulars of the announcement of his successor yesterday has left his devoted followers with one last intrigue to ponder. The reading of his will precipitated a flurry of speculation for his niece and presumptive heir, the presumptive heir, the much beloved and lamented Mary Matthew Jones, has been missing, presumed deceased, for the past 6 years. Mrs. Jones, better known to our readers by her pen name Marion Marigold, enchanted the hearts and minds of children across the realm with her literary creations such as The Red Prince, Swinburne, and A New Clue. Swinburne was a shitty children's novel. All it was just a guy about a bird who got depressed and gave up on life. Her disappearance remains one of the age's most tragic mysteries. With her whereabouts unknown, it was Marigold's own son, Simon P. Jones, of but 14 summers, who was yesterday named the provisional heir to the sprawling Cinca Empire. However, this vast inheritance is accompanied by an undisclosed contractual condition. Given the Baron's well-known penchant for tests of metal and wit, it is clear the young heir from Reddington, distinguished in his own right as last year's County Science Fair runner-up, faced an extraordinary challenge in the coming weeks. You don't say. Okay. Oh, upgrade disc? Okay. Let us try to make use of that. If we could. We gotta do dark room here. I really need security. I might lose this upgrade disc, is what I'm worried about. Gem requirement, that's gotta be good, right? Let's do it. Yeah! Let's keep it at standard. No, let's make it commonplace. Okay, terminal. Keycard system, keycard system settings, set security level low, change on offline mode, unlocked, and exit. And then let's use our upgrade disc. What options do we have? Parlor, a classic. Parlor data has been found on this upgrade disc. You will now have the chance to permanently enhance this room to one of 3 different upgraded floor plans. Okay. one more gem. 2 chances to get it right. I'm not choosing that one. And the funeral parlor. The gold prize or the diamond prize is equal to the red rooms in your house. If you open an empty box in the funeral parlor, lose 30 steps. Oh my god. That could be interesting. It would completely change the way I play this game for the entire rest of the game. And I'm not sure I want that. I think I'm just going to choose the three diamond prize. I'm not a big fan of the funeral parlor. For one, I've been known to occasionally err in my logic, in which case the run would just be over, right? And then 2, I don't think it would be that common that I actually get more than 2 gems from it. Certainly more than 3 would be hard. I mean, I know this counts as one on its own probably, but yeah, I think I'm just going to choose the 3 gem one. The 2 wind-up keys one would only be useful if I fail more than like 20% of the time. Or more than 50% of the time, I mean. Let's do a laboratory, or we could do a rumpus room. Oh, wait, no. The reason I was thinking about the rumpus room is because the Alazar thing from the secret garden, but I figured that out anyway. We also have the wrench, so we can do stuff with this. Let's make it... Do we want to make it more common? Yeah, let's make it more common. It's a good room. Okay, enter. Experiment setup. Now let's look at research logs. Oh yeah, that triggered one time. Experiment setup. Continue with experiment. We drift a hallway from another hallway. Gain 1 key, 1 gem, or 1 die randomly. Gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your house. There's 10 steps and gain 20 gold. Okay. Each time you unlock or bypass a security door, I'm going to choose this and this. I think that makes the most sense. I don't want the ones that make you lose steps. Okay. Is this activated? Let me see what I wrote down. I wrote down something for this. I wrote down... what did I write down? Somewhere in my notes. I have so many pages of notes. Push 3 up after 9 is what I wrote down. Let's do it. This is saying there's no power, I think is what that's saying, right? Which is weird to me because the pump room still works. Also, where are we at here? We are at an important room, I think, for our decoding mission. Yeah, no, we're not. We are 1 too high north. So we need to go back to security real quick. And look at the pictures on this wall. There's a stag and a stage, I believe. So I'm going to write down stag and stage and the letter E, which is interesting. Yeah, I definitely can't get through there. I should probably do a little bit more thorough search in this room, just to make sure I'm not missing anything that I could be grabbing. Like, that's a gem. Come on, let me grab that. Okay, music room. Have I ever been in a music room? No, I haven't. 1 major key, 1 minor key. I also kind of need the breaker box. But remember what I said, this is more of an exploratory mission, so I'm prioritizing going to places I haven't gone before. I've seen this in the security camera footage. Oh, oh. Yes, okay, this is huge. Okay, find here within these first words sung. Okay, we're gonna write this down. Because now we should have a lot more insight into the total message. I'm just gonna write down the bolded words. but I am going to read everything. Find here within these first words sung the key you seek in major tongue, but half the sheets are missing from the four you hold, the rest far flung. A half note held is quite the pun. So, basically what it's saying is there's 4 sheets elsewhere, 2 of which I've already found. Okay. So we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have the word first. We have the word words. Among the scattered symphony, a message hidden beneath the keys, in bold words sung by you and me, a fractured note, an urgent plea, in bold words sung I do repeat. Yeah, bold words. Really hammering that home. The ones of you who oft assume that you alone can solve this tune are likely going to get your due and all the rage that will ensue while working on this simple clue. First words on. While pages lined with melodies do hide the words we've come to seek, and from our choice among all these we write down that seems to be the loudest type with ink that bleeds. Okay, yeah, again, hammering it at home. The first words on the... Oh, I think I get it. Okay, wait, one sec. Where's my one for number 5? It was in the workshop, I believe. What did I write down in the workshop? Message. Oh wait, no, that was number 8. The workshop was number 8. It was the greenhouse that had number 5, and it said sheets. So the first words on the sheets, something something message. Okay, I don't think I need to find 6 and 7 to figure out what that means. It means write down the first words from all these sheets. So the first word here is find. The first word on page 2 is among. So find among the white. Okay, what was the first one in the greenhouse room? It was trees. I know what the white trees are. They're the birch trees that are out by my campsite. And then something stones. That's interesting. I need to find sheets 6 and 7, but something about the white sheets and something about the stones. Wait, what is that? What is that? The prism key. If you unlock a door with the prism key in a green room, hallway, bedroom, red room, or shop, you will draw floor plans of that same color. Okay. That's blindingly beautiful. Let's hope we can find a breaker room here. We could do rumpus room and hope and pray. We could do observatory. What would that get us? We have how many stars do we have? We have so many items in our hands right now. We would have 6 stars. I forgot what that gives you. I should have written it down. We have no need to go to the code check because we're leaving that basement key in there. Let's go rumpus room, I think. Just cause. Maybe there's a key card sitting around in here. Alongside the 8 coins. I remember last time it took me forever to find them on this barrel here. Okay, yeah, I don't see a key card. Should I listen to Alazar again? Maybe you'll have more insight into what he's saying. Let's do it. Prepare yourself for a world of mystery.
And as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin.
As it was foretold, you mean as you were programmed to do.
Face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Yeah, that's why I paid you. Can you get on with it already? Okay, there's a car crash by the fountain. Car crash by the fountain. That looks like the car from the garage.
I see the darkened cloud of ruin.
Okay, destroyed estate.
Now decrepit
This is different than the last one.
and in disrepair. I see 8 red and
Yeah, I figured that out too. I found one of them.
resting upon 8 pedestals.
I don't know about the pedestals.
And in these 8 envelopes, I see 8 letters penned by 8 different hands.
One of them, the one I have, is by Courtney.
Letters of which you will only ever find and read 7.
Okay, that's
It is
weird.
like
I found the 7th one.
hanging on the walls of these rooms. There is a letter.
Okay, there's another clue that for the puzzle that I've already figured out.
Word here
Kind of figured
has
out.
been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Okay, so it sounds like I can keep coming back to me, keep giving me more insight into things. That's actually pretty valuable. What have I learned? I've learned that there's 8 red letters. I found one of them in the time lock save. Can I play this? No. I don't know where the others are, though. I think they're in the other safes. Would be my guess. That is my guess. Okay. I think that's the end of the run. Yeah, I do believe that's the end of the run. Okay. What can I do? I can go back outside and investigate the white trees, is what I can do. And that's what I shall do. Also, I can go to the fountain and throw a coin in. And throw a coin in here, of course. Let's see. Can I just buy some random stuff? Buy a club sandwich? Buy a banana? Sure. Sorry for the cut there. I had a visitor to my room. Okay. So I'm gonna throw in a coin. So I think every time I have extra coins and I'm out here, I should just do that, right? Because I feel like using the pump room, I'll be able to access all those coins at some point if I need them desperately. There's no point not to if I have the extra capital. What was I gonna do? I was going to go to the white trees. And the message that I wrote down was, find among the white trees something something stones. Dude, I didn't even notice that up there. What's that? Is that in the orchard? Did I just like completely ignore that when I was there earlier? Okay, find among the white trees something something stones. Okay. You dug up a secret floor plan. Would you like to permanently add conservatory to your drafting pool? Adjust the rarity of floor plans in your house. I would like to add that. Yes. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure. That's got to be important, right? Like, I feel like that was a lot of information there that, or sorry, it took a lot of information to get there. It took a lot of steps to get there. So I think that it should be actually hopefully important, that conservatory. I keep noticing these bird baths everywhere. It is day 22. It's the day I said I was going to come over here as well. And, yeah, I don't think there's anything important here. Orindia is the one who is in the cloister. So I'm going to write that down. It's the one with the crown. Okay. I feel like that's got to be important at some point, knowing the names of all those deities. And then, like, associating them with the numbers on the stained glass. Like, come on now. Why would they be numbered if not for some puzzle? Yeah, that's... I'm so curious about this basement door, too. Where can I use the basement key? Okay, I'm gonna call it. Maybe there's more we can do, but I'm not worried about it. Day 23. What are we going to do today? One goal and one goal only. As many new rooms as possible. That's my goal. We're going to do this. We're going to take the storeroom. We're going to take the gem from the storeroom. And then we are going to go to the room over here, and I'm going to hope for a schoolhouse. Okay, that's fine. We're going to do... do we just do shelter? We just do shelter. So today's not a schoolhouse day, not a classroom day, but that's fine. We're still just going to be prioritizing new rooms. I have never done the mailroom. What else have I never done? Never done her ladyship's chamber or whatever it is. We're gonna do parlor because we get 3 gems from it now. The gems are not in the blue box. So the gems are in the white box. The other 2 statements are both true. Okay, that cannot be true. It is factually impossible for this to be true. So this is one of the false boxes. The gems are not in the blue box, and the gems are in the white box. Both of these would be true. So I think they just have to be in the white box. That's the only thing that narrows it down. Huh? Let's think about this. The other 2 statements are both true. Let's imagine this is false. Oh, I see. If this is false, then the other 2 statements can't both be true, which means that the gems are in the blue box. Because, wait, no. The gems are not in the blue box. That could be true, and then this could be false, meaning that they're in the black box. Oh, that's such a waste of it. Let's do bedroom. Car keys, okay. I don't need them. Nook, pantry, billiard room. Let's just do Nook. Let's get down to this bottom corner. Magnifying glass, ooh. I don't think there's anywhere that I can think of where I need to use that yet, but I'll keep it in mind when I'm looking at anything. Library. Sure, we checked out a book last time. History of Orindia, 2nd edition. Okay. Detective Von Margle checked it out twice. That's interesting. Mary Jones, that's, you know, my mother, I assume. This book was reviewed and cleared for publication by the Finn Area Central Board of Education. It has been edited to conform to our department's standards, including the omission of sections deemed inaccurate or unsuitable for public dissemination. It's all censored. Almost as bad as the Epstein files. The name used to designate the realms of the Eastern Waters is no longer known to the average citizen of the elder generation. We must permit our leaders to abandon our past. To enjoin us to abandon our past. What? Ajira. Most historians mark the beginning of the First Era, often known as Ajira, by the ascension of the first king, whose name, Oris, would later grace the first king blank, whose name, Oris, would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Oris was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence, whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of the surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of the bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but one aim, expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris, and by the end of the 1st century, a new kingdom was born. Something happened. A second era. It was the 4th king blank who split this vast domain into 3 equal shares, 3 realms for his 3 children. To the eldest, he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspring of the kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift. To the youngest, he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Ares, the land of the northern storms, a wild and untamed expanse which at the time was not as developed, but a good deal more vast than the eldest brother's lot. And To his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Araja, a land steeped in tradition. Okay, we know what this symbol is because it's on one of the flags. It's the little chevron kind of thing. Or is it? It doesn't look like it could be that. But that's what was on the other flag in the children's homework. Maybe it's not. As the Second Era drew to a close, the three sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective sibling monarchs, had blossomed, cultivating the bountiful resources of their lands and developing a unique character and culture that set them apart from one another. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the third era was defined by blank. Commerce between the three realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future. Okay. So this is typically denoted as yellow, this is typically denoted as purple, and this is typically denoted as orange. You're going to remember that. I'm going to kind of draw down this map here. Wow. That's the sound I make whenever I'm drawing, I guess. I suppose, I say. Okay, I have drawn it all. I feel like this will be relevant later at some point. All we can see from the censorship is that it looks like a square, almost. Which is interesting. It would imply that later the symbol changed for some reason. Okay. Fourth Era. As the kingdom entered the Fourth Era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Desolus III was a king who was often seen drinking, I say the Czech, not only the gentry in the court, but the mass as well. So basically they're, propagandizing these. I'll read that. Oh, I can't read what's under it. Oh, I can. Desolus was renowned as the king of blank. King of no one, when he made the decision to move wing castle and court behind. The people were overjoyed by this choice and were those that viewed the king's conduct to be unbecoming of his conquest. Okay, yes, this is just propagandizing this book. These voices planted the seed which took root in the grand city of Fen. Marin Sinclair, thank you so much for your cooperation with our department and this investigation. We know our presence is never convenient, especially for someone of your social status, so it means all the more that you're not only tolerant but also willing to aid our efforts in getting this business done as quickly as possible. We are returning, with this letter, the book that you lent us, though I must confess it was not as much help as I had hoped. I'd heard that your library of rare and restricted books was quite extensive, and I was told by a reliable source that if a first edition and uncensored copy of the history of Orindia could be found, it would likely be found within the Baron's own collection. But perhaps I was misinformed. Still, a part of me thinks that you may have given me the censored copy as a jest, a taste, if you will, for the bureaucrat of their own medicine. If that is the case, then I will say, well done, fair play, and perhaps on my next visit we'll have a laugh about this after you've given me the actual manuscript. You know what's so funny about this? He checked it out twice. So he gave it to him a second time. Era of Ruin. After the passing of King Desolus III, the Fourth Era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died. Damn. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the Prince Learson of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by a number of supporters due to the fact that Desolus IV shared little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments were hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield as the cries of the innocent echoed through the city streets stained in red. Dang, okay. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment, who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Learson to form a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors to persuade the nearby realms of Arch-Ares and Nuance to join their cause. However, even with the tide turning on their favor, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 long years and saw buried one in every 3 men. Prince Learson himself added another number to the casualties. However, even in death he had won. Oris had fallen with it the realm. Black flags that had flown for 5 eras were burned, and in their place red banners were hoisted in honor of the fallen Fen. The few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. Is it going to turn out I'm, descendant from these people? That we're descendant from these people? The current era. Today, the realms inherited by the three, Fen, Ares, Arch-Ares, and Araja, once again stand united as allies. Though the distance between our people has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across our realms serve as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that sprung forth the greatest empire the world has ever seen, a land of our fathers, of our mothers, and their children. So, yeah, Arch-Ares is the north one. Ben Aries is the middle one, which is where we are at, and Iraja is the south one. Okay, interesting. Did that lock that off? Yes, that did lock that off. That's fine. Well, there's only one way to go. Oh, spare room. Sure, we'll do pantry. Just keep going. Let's keep a steady clip here. Workshop, this would have been great last time. Not this so much this time. I'm still going to choose it because it's free and it goes straight. And I can look back at this again. R now is what it says. I think I think every day it changes, and then the days where I don't draft it, I'm missing crucial letters. But I'm just going to keep writing them down, and maybe I'll be able to piece it together anyway. Laboratory. Den. Let's just do den, honestly. No, I want that three-pronged one still in the pool. We'll do lab. What can we enact in the lab today? Okay. We're gonna say each time you unlock a bypass security door, say your dice to go. I think that seems fine. I'm not super confident that I would be able to do the other ones, so at all. Okay, West Wing Hall, that's what it's gotta be. Let's hold off on that. Here's the perfect spot for a den. Why would you ever not do den? You get gen. You get a nice, beautiful intersection. That's the perfect direction. You get an office if you want it. Or a closet, I guess. I might just do closet here. Okay. Not super thrilled with the items that I got. The running shoes are always fine, I guess. Okay, we're gonna hold off on going north. I want to stay as far south as possible so less doors are locked. We'll just do a hallway, obviously. That's kind of what we need to do. Let's just be able to go straight. We're gonna redraw is what we're going to do. Yeah. Something that goes left would be nice. Okay, so it looks like what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the utility closet. Which is fine, I guess. We're going to turn off the gymnasium lights, on the garage power, keycard entry. We don't even have to mess with the dark room. I'm going to turn this all green and see what that does. VAC indicators. What could VAC stand for? Maybe I'm just not experienced enough of an electrician to know what that means. And it's very common. Chapel. Got coins. Need to go this way. Oh, and I have the shelter, so it's actually fine. Okay, that is Orindia, number 7. And number 1 is Rina, I believe. Okay, if this is locked, it's over. Could we potentially buy keys from here? Maybe. Or a lockpick set. None of the above. We can buy a shovel. That might be the only thing that's possible to get us a key to let us keep going if we get stuck here. Okay, we will do security. And we will ramp up security to high. Great. So, this is one right here. And I think, because we'll bypass it, we'll get 2 dice. Yeah, let's do courtyard. Keep my options open. That should give me 2 dice. Yes, and I have shovel, so I will be getting hopefully a key. Come on, give me a key. No, it's gonna give me nothing. It never gives me anything here. Oh, we're gonna get so many more dice. I'm feeling good. The only thing that can stop us is our lack of keys, really. Yeah, honestly, dining room would actually be very nice here. We just instantly achieve it. Before I do that, actually, yeah, I want to go in here. Maybe there's like gems or something. I hear the sound like there is. Oh, there's a key. Even better. Okay, what is for dinner? This is the one that requires the boiler room, or... Yeah. Let's hold off for now. We have steps. We could maybe get a boiler room today. I don't want to use the key there. I want to go straight first. Let's likely find items lying around the house. Let's redraw. We're gonna get 2 more after we draft this anyway. Let's redraw again. Sure. Why didn't I get 2 for that one? Okay. Let's just keep exploring around. We know how to get into the antechamber if we really want to. We need to get a locksmith, maybe, or something like that. Okay. I'm going to hold off on using any of these keys yet, because that could really come back to bite me. Let's just go this way first. Oh, no, we have to use a key somewhere. If I have to use a key somewhere, I would like to use it this direction, I think. It gives me more real estate. We're gonna have to redrop. What other option is there? We're gonna have to redraw again. Dark room. Let's do it. And then we'll go back to utility closet. Oh wait, no, we aren't affected by the red room thing. Or by red rooms because of the security closet. Oh, key card. Not really relevant for me right now. Okay, I got another key. That's nice. I've never been in the ballroom. I would like to go to the ballroom, but I can't. What is this? Oh, it's the crank. It's the crank for the... Oh my god. It's the elevator. Yes, man. Yes. I've done it. I figured it out. Okay. We need to get around there. Pronto. I'm using the key. Oh, I really need gems. Okay, come on. Give me something better. We'll do billiard room and just hope we can navigate around, maybe? Or do we roll again? What is even in the hall plan, or what's even the floor plan that's still possible? Hallway? We've already got dark room. We've already done courtyard. We've already done dining room. We've already done conference room. There's not many left that I can think of. Library is a gem, right? Oh, we already have library down there too. Shit, man. I think we have to really go out on a limb here and hope that this door isn't locked. Hope we can go all the way around. Hope that we get gems from this. Something like that. Either way, it's set for next time, I think. 4 squared to 16. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 16 minus 1 is 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, we're not dead yet, no matter what. Nothing back here? Nope. Okay, corridors are always unlocked. That's good. Is this one of the ones I haven't been in yet? No, it's Plan and Fan. That's right. I need to look at which ones I haven't been in yet again. I've not been in I-1. I have been in I-2. We have officially solved almost all of it. There are 2 of them that I'm not sure what the answer is. There's one of them we haven't, or 2 of them we haven't been to as well. Dining room is one of those 2, so we can go back there and get it. The other one that we haven't been to and seen the pictures is this one over here, which I'm sure we've been through, but I'm gonna need this at another point, I have a feeling. But what else goes right that I can take? We can get East Wing Hallway once we go over here too. And 2 more dice, that's actually pretty big. Yeah, we're gonna have to do East Wing Hall. That's fine. Start by looking north. Nope, not gonna use it. I am gonna use it there. Redraw. Redraw. Shit. Well, I guess we're doing lavatory. Anything going on in here this time? No? Okay, let's go back. Do we want to go up here? Do we want to go... Where do we want to go? I'm really not sure where we want to go. I mean, I do know where we want to go, but there's no way to get there. Let's go to the dining room. And we can test our theory to see if the antechamber door is still unlocked on that side. Hold up on that. I need gems. Is there any way for me to get them? Well, might as well do Maid's Chamber. And I'll eat this. There's no way for me to get what I need. Okay. Yeah, nothing in here that's relevant for me. And that's locked. Yep. Figures. Okay. I think that's the end then. I hope that the foundation thing... It just doesn't reset each day, specifically. So, you know, maybe that works out. Okay, let's end it. Call it a day. Call it. I'm going to try to spend a second in between here to see if I can figure out the letters I can't figure out for some reason. Oh, no, I didn't look in the dining room. I didn't look in the dining room. I think the letter is going to be C, though. I think it's going to C. I think the letter there is C. I can't believe I didn't look in the dining room. Okay, whatever. Alright, give me a few seconds and I'm going to try and figure out the letters that I'm missing that I have that I just can't puzzle out. Okay, I'm actually just going to do a little bit of drafting first, and then I'll do my cut. Get rid of pantry. Get rid of nook. Do a chapel. Yeah, closet is better than billiard room in this situation. Chapel is better than them both, I think. Okay, I am now going to do my little break. So I'm going to cut, and then when I'll be back whenever I have figured out the letters. Okay, I think I figured it out. I didn't manage to figure out the two letters that I'm missing, but I thought about it from a perspective of like what they could be trying to say, and I think I figured it out. I think the way the words are as follows: if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. What it means by small gates is the orchard gate. At least that's one that they're counting for sure. Because that is a date that cracked the gate, or which they're counting as a safe. So that means there's 7 other safes that are cracked by 7 dates. I don't know. I think that corresponds with the 7 letters, and I think one of them is the time lock safe because you literally had to input a date and time to crack the safe. So I think there's 6 other safes. We know of 2 of them. One of them is in the office. We know of another one that is in the study, I believe. And there, I believe that's the one that was originally in the whatever room had the picture of the Christmas tree, and it was later moved to the study, is my thought. So, with that knowledge, where can we find dates? I am doing this first here. Let's just do this. I rarely do this. Is there anything in here for me? No? I'm going to try to go really fast here. My only goal is, as I've said before, to find new rooms. So I'm just going to do that as fast as possible. I'm not going to think about things too much. I'm going to think about things a little, but not too much. I do want to get to the foundation. That's my main goal, actually. I changed my mind. Pantry. Did we already get the Nook key? I don't think we did. We'll keep that in mind. Storeroom. I'm just going to try to bulk up on these kind of things so that we have enough to buy whatever we want to buy. I'm going to try to circumvent the chapel if I can. It's there if I need it, though. We'll do parlor and we won't fail this time because we need... Actually, we don't need any gems. I'm a dumbass. Whatever. Fine. Okay, let's not be stupid. A box with false statements contains the gems. Okay. The black box is not empty. So this would be a paradox. So if this was true, then there couldn't be gems in here. Which would mean that this would have to be false. Which means that there would have to be gems in here. And this one would be true. So, okay. This is my logic. If this is true and this is true and this is false, are there any logical fallacies? No. So first and foremost, if this is true, the statement on the black box is true. Okay, that means this is true. If this is true, a box with false statements contains the gems. That means the gems have to be in here and that this is false. Black box is not empty. Yes, that all makes logical sense. So if they're not in here, then it means it's just a 50-50 for some other option. Okay. Let's do drawing room. So I can redraw, which is kind of my whole thing here, is that I'm trying to get new rooms. You can do library and down here. Fuck it, let's just do library. I want to check out a new book. The Fixed Stars, that's the only one we haven't read. And then I want to get back to the bookstore with gold in my pockets. Okay, we're going to keep going here as fast as possible. Again, for a gem and for 2 exits in the ideal directions. We're going to go up, try to get the foundation. Hallway, perfect for that. Let's look right first. We'll do a guest bedroom because we're gonna need a lot of steps. By the end of this run, we're gonna need to have a lot of steps built up. We haven't encountered any keys yet. Locked doors. Passageway. We've made it to the foundation now. Here we are. I think I'm going to take it down. But I think I'm going to do that in the next episode. I know. It's a bit of a cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger for me too. I'm ending the episode here, guys. I'm very excited to take this down. It's the first time I've ended an episode not at the end of a day, but I'm going to do it. For me, I get to just keep playing and start recording the next episode right away. You guys have to wait. I'm excited to see what's at the bottom of this place. But that's going to have to do it for me for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.